The Mike and Tony Show is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Can I cuss? I don't get to cuss, can I? Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Wait, what am I doing? Wait, am I already recording? Did you just touch my butt? Hey guys, this is Mark the Couch Guy. Thanks for listening to The Mike and Tony Show.
I haven't seen Couch Guy in a while, actually.
I still call him Couch Boy.
Yeah. Couch Boy. Yeah. What a freaking treat. This was a surprise guest. Yes. So the listeners know Mike was super tight-lipped about this all damn week, would not tell me who it was. And boy, did I try to
I didn't know if he was going to ruin it or not.
Oh, he's so, like, no, he
it
won't.
Seemed like it was pretty tight-lipped. So I was like, all right.
Yeah. He literally sent me like Aladdin zipping his lip or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
The genie. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't remember what question I asked. What was I? What did
you were
I
just
ask?
like, come on. You said, throw me a bone. Throw me a bone.
Did I say throw me a bone?
I think so.
Weird.
Let's see.
Tony Baloney over here.
Yeah. Throwing bones.
What did he say? He goes, no.
That's one of my favorite rhymes off the
He said, he goes,
album.
Can I get a clone?
That is top tier lyricism right
Tony
there.
Baloney.
Is
Tony
you getting to
Baloney.
use Tony Baloney in a lyric. I was like, Jordan. I was like, there's nothing, but I was like, God, what top tier.
Jordan Lord in. Jordan Lord in.
No.
Look
at it.
It's not good. It's not good, Pierce.
Like him trying to rhyme my name with things. But yeah, I mean, basically, I bombarded him at the release party and said, I think we should do a surprise.
A Huckleberry Surprise.
A Huckleberry Surprise. That's so it sounds nasty when you say a Huckleberry. Like, well, when it's like wholesome when you're just saying it's when you just say Huckleberry Surprise. When you say a Huckleberry Surprise,
that's a different
dirty sex thing.
That's when I bleep that out.
Basically was just like, as someone who's making an album right now, and I'm doing it all myself, and I know you're doing it all yourself. I was like, I should come on there. I convinced. It was really hard. It didn't take. It took 0.5 seconds.
Yeah. To convince Mike.
And I was like, I want to ask him and talk about it because I feel like there has to be so much that went into it. Like, and re-listening to it again, I listened to it multiple times already. But
the whole thing?
Yeah. And
really?
I listened to it again today because I was like wanting to really like pick apart stuff. And I'm like just seeing like how much musicality is in it and stuff like that. Like I know that it took a while, so I'm like, I feel like you should be able to sit and talk about it, and we should be able to like ask questions about it.
Thanks. That's so damn cool. That was saying that's what I told Mike on the show last week. Was that was one of the best parts about that whole party to me was you and Tyler being there. And I was like, we all watched each other's sets. We're like, we're songwriters.
Yeah.
So, and I think we're all used to performing with a lot of people that aren't songwriters. There's a lot of people that just go out and play music, cover bands, all that kind of stuff. But to be around songwriters that really are listening to the lyrics, you're just like, oh man.
Yeah, and everybody's like, I think Tyler said, everyone's really different. Like when we were playing, so it's makes it really fun when you're sitting there, and then
which made me think about all that old school shit, especially when it was in its heyday, like American Idol and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Where you realize where you turn music into a competition, and then you're just like, it's just so weird. It's like having an art competition.
Yeah, that's
similarly
been like a weird. I've always been are you a competitive person?
I kind of am, yeah, but not with music.
I feel like I
was
for a really long time, like going into it, but probably because I like came from like sports and like a world like that. Like ever since I was really little, I was like, I really wanted to win.
Yeah,
I don't know what the desire was to that, but like I was like 5 and I was like figure skater. I was little, and I was like,
I get that.
I was like, I want to win, and I like wanted to beat the other girl. So I was like, hell no.
It's stuff I care about. If I don't care,
that makes sense.
I won't care at all.
I think that was like I was super passionate about that as well. So that's something like going into music though that was like a little bit of a deconstruction.
Yeah,
I feel like, did you ever have to do that or at all?
What exactly?
Like deconstruct your competitiveness when you're going into music.
No, because I had really fucking humble beginnings.
Okay.
Like I've talked about it many times. I couldn't sing. I still can't sing that great, but I really couldn't sing. Like I didn't even understand.
There's a lot of different singing going on this out. There's like your voice sounds different in like
different songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Why are
it's
you?
crazy.
I was like, no, just like there's some that I was like, I don't know if that was intentional or if it was just like the vibe of the song, but
Like what? What are you thinking of? Like there's
one I was like, well, this is
with
super low. Like this is really
just
low. And
sounds
he's
like a different person or
yeah,
something.
like, well, I mean, I know it's you, but it just the vocals were given. I was like, this sounds different than what I thought.
My whole life I thought I had no range. First of all, I didn't know how to sing.
That's not true. Yeah, because there's definitely some on there for sure.
But I didn't know back in the day that I couldn't sing. And I've told this many times. My best friend's mom was a choir teacher, and she was the first one because I was really good at guitar and I had like rhythm and stuff, but I didn't even know I was singing out of key. I was like one of those people that's like, hello, can you go? And you're just like, dude, you're not even in the right key. You were completely tone deaf. I was tone deaf. That's
crazy that I don't think I've ever met
me how
anybody.
to fix it though.
How?
She sat me down at a piano and she would play two notes that were the same and get my ear to listen to the wavelengths. And it'd be like, it would vibrate real slow. And then when she would hit an off note, and I could hear the wavelengths and I was like, oh. And then I was like, some notes are super out of tune and then some vibrate together in a cool way.
That's actually very interesting
like
that you're talking about that,
chords.
because I was reading a book today about meditating and like psychic stuff, and they were talking about playing different hertz, different notes in your ears, and how it is called like, I can't even think what it's called, but it is like a way to get you into like an alpha brain wave state, which is kind of crazy because I feel like when you were playing at the release party, I was like, I feel like me and Tyler looked at each other and he was like, this is like such positive vibes. And I was like, it's like this, like, it was emanating like this type of energy. So it's interesting that that's like how you learn to sing and stuff. Cause was like based off of that. Cause I guess it resonates differently. Like
that's
when you're listening to two different notes at once.
Yeah. Yeah. And right on the album, like I've always been, and I have another story. Like when I couldn't sing, I had an uncle who was, God rest his soul, passed away years ago. But I grew up with a lot of mean fucking uncles. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and it was just
mean uncles. Is that you said?
Yeah, like nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit about little kids.
Damn, okay.
Like we would play one-on-one outside, and they would just shove me into the ground and like
He's like
lay
Will
up.
Ferrell. Like,
Yeah, they just didn't care. They were like toughen up, blowing, smoking cigarettes in the car with you. Just nobody cared, right?
Yeah, I got the cigarette.
And I was always like, the way I am now is how I've always been. And I mostly spent my time with my mom and my sister.
Okay.
And so I wasn't like a really masculine personality. And so I never kind of was like that. So I was always intimidated by like all my uncles and my dad and all these tough guys. And I remember in my room, I had taught myself to play guitar and I was singing and I was literally recording into this like little stereo that had a cassette recorder on it. Okay. And I'll never forget, I've told you before, my uncle barged in and he was like, holy shit, what are you doing in here? Sounds like something's dying. He's like, bro, the guitar sounds okay, but please don't sing. Give it up. And he walked out. And right. My childhood, bro. These fucking people.
Well, that was one of the questions I had to ask.
They didn't care.
Was wondering about, because you talk a little bit about like, I think it's, I don't know all the titles by heart. Sorry.
Oh, stop it.
I'm not a dinosaur. I was like,
I'm flattered that you even.
But out of my way, you talk a lot about like your family and your dad, and so I wanted to touch on that a little bit and how that related to the song, because you talk about
interesting.
I mean, you say your dad was a drug dealer and things like that. Yeah, I was and I was just like, that's interesting, and it seemed your family like had a big like play into that song, and then just like how did that song come about and the story behind that.
Good question. That song was actually going to be like the centerpiece of the album originally. Okay. That was going to be the opening track instead of, how traditionally you put like the big hit, like third or whatever, like how I put Huckleberry Surprise. Okay. But the opener was going to be that song. That song was one that I wrote because I was tired. I was listening to a lot of my old songs and I felt like there was something in me always holding back. Okay. Like that I was willing to like write songs that were comfortable. And that one really felt like I was at a phase in my life where it was aligning with the way things were happening in my life too. Like I was starting to feel more free, and I realized I'm like, the one thing that's in my damn way is myself. Like I've got to get out of my way, and that's like the idea behind the song. And that whole song, the first verse. I'm trying to remember what I'm even talking about in the first verse because I break them down by verses. Like the third verse is all about my grandmother. Okay. The second verse is about like having an anger problem and my dad.
Okay.
And then the first verse, I guess, I don't even remember what the damn first verse is. I don't remember anymore. But
I think isn't this a song that says Tony Baloney in it?
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. If I could just remember the first line, I can actually think of it. But. Yeah, but it was just kind of like I think that verse is kind of an opener. Like I'm letting you know.
Yeah,
I'm about to let you know. I'm about to be real honest and open. I'm going to get this shit off my chest, and I'm just going to be real. And that's why I was so proud of it when I did it, because I was like, "Fuck yeah, this isn't like I didn't hold anything back here." Like, and it's kind of crazy. And I liked that feeling of like, man, when people hear that, they're going to go, "Damn, that's kind of crazy." And I was like, "Yeah, I like that." You know, I was never like an edgy writer in general.
Yeah, I liked that track, but I was like, well, this is kind of interesting because it gave a little bit of insights behind that. And I knew you grew up in California, right?
I did.
So
San Joaquin Valley.
Silicon Valley.
No, not Silicon Valley.
I was like,
San
what?
Joaquin Valley.
Oh, I was like, okay.
Fresno,
I was
Bakersfield, all that
weird
shit.
drop. We put that in there. But I guess
Silicon
and you were just saying that
Valley,
your parents
baby.
lived with you too. So like, I guess why did you bring up that part with your dad, and like how did that play into
like why is
growing
it
up in
song?
your parents? Because obviously are your parents still alive?
No, my dad died in 2005.
I was gonna say, I think that's also in the song.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of, I don't know if that's like super personal, but
no, not at all. What do you want to know?
I'm
an open
I was
book.
just curious. Like, I mean, it's as someone who like, I think as you get older and you reflect, like I definitely have some songs where I'm referencing my parents, and I'm always like really terrified to sing about them because it feels like you're like, I still
That's
have
real.
a good relationship with them, but you also look back and you're like, it's really complicated. And obviously
all relationships,
knowing your dad was a drug dealer, and right, like you said, he was like, it seems like he was super masculine. Like, I guess just what your relationship was with him and how that played into the song.
Sure. So when I was young, I had not much of a relationship with my dad. He was selling drugs and doing it. Well, here's what happened was that like he was a pretty good dad, and I have pictures when I was really, really little, and he was like around and he was working a normal job and all that kind of stuff. And then he got hit with a ton of bricks, and his family all died in the course of like literally like a couple of months. Maybe it was 1 month. It was close to 1 month. It was like a November and December one year. He lost everybody. Like his mom died. His dad died. His biggest brother went to jail for like a long fucking time.
Okay.
His
the
sister,
uncle that came in and was like, "You're shit." I'm just kidding.
No, that was on the other side of the family.
Yeah.
But this was where was I going with that?
Oh, you said his sister died.
Yeah,
like
sister died.
Family.
My Aunt Sissy died in a car crash right around that time. And then my Aunt Sissy, though, was like a big drug dealer. I guess I can talk about it now. Like,
okay.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I was like,
it's a long fucking time ago, and she's long deceased. But
and that like played into why your dad got into that.
yes, he basically took over. And so,
what is this? The mob bot? Like,
I don't know. It's just what happens.
Well,
and it took time for as a kid to figure out exactly what was going on and like how things transpired.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but my mom was always outside of that stuff, and so she could always she was outside of it as she wasn't participating, but she knew what everybody was doing, and so through her, I was able to figure out a lot of shit that was happening at the time, and why I never saw my dad, why he was always in the garage, why were there always weird people here.
Okay,
I went into the garage one time just curious what the fuck was going on out there, and I remember I found just like a little film canister with weed in it, but he had a gun out there too, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Don't go back in the house right now. Fuck out of here.
Oh my god.
So that was my dad. So that's what happened with my dad. And then once that happened, he was out of my life. He went to jail multiple times. And he got in trouble for one time for having a bunch of illegal weapons. And one time it was all drug stuff that
related
he had.
charges, yeah.
Yeah, and he was using and selling, and his thing was meth. Like that was the drug of choice.
Okay.
So that's what happened. He ended up. It used to be 3 strikes in California. So if he were to leave the state, he asked his parole officer, if I leave the state and go live, because he had an older sister who lived in Missouri. Okay. And she was like the one in the family, like totally had her shit together. She went to church every Sunday.
Eldest sister?
Eldest sister.
I'm just kidding. Okay. Sorry. I was like,
and so he asked his parole officer,
into that.
Yeah, can I go move out there with her? And she said, yeah. And so, and then the parole officer, though.
Of course she did. So yeah.
Yeah. But the parole officer said, absolutely not. That'll be your 3rd strike. because you can't break parole. You're not allowed to leave the state.
Oh,
period.
okay.
Yeah.
But his whole problem, that's what he was saying. He was like, I keep
stay
falling
here,
with
yeah.
the same fucking people,
Yep.
and I just do the
wanted to
same thing over and again.
locationally actually like move out of.
Yeah, and so he wanted to just get his life together. And so then they said no, and he said, fuck it. And he went. But
Okay.
because of that, I never really got to see him. But as he got older, he got clean. And he kind of got really religious. He stopped all drugs. He didn't even really drink much anymore. He smoked a little weed.
Your parents were not together?
No, they divorced. They technically divorced when I was 12
Okay.
or 13, something like that. 12, I think. Yeah. So that's the kind of the story with my dad. And it was always a hard one for me because he was always the black sheep. He was always in trouble. Like he had bad fucking luck. Like Mark the couch guy.
Yeah.
God bless him, man. Some people things just keep happening that suck. And you're like, can the guy get a break? And that's how I always felt that way about my dad. But everybody in the family didn't really react to him that way. They were just like, he's a fucking loser, especially on my mom's side of the family. I think everybody and they were all entangled, right? He was friends with the cousins on my mom's side and they all had their thing. But as they got older, it was just more like he's, gone to the dark side.
Okay.
And so when he got older, no one would talk to him. But I would still talk to him.
Okay.
So I built a really good relationship just over the phone. But I literally haven't I never saw my dad face to face since I was 16 or 15. I think it was 15.
Okay.
The last time I saw him. He had just got out of jail. He came and saw me. And then that was the last time I saw him. But we talked for years on the phone. So that's the story of my dad. And that's where all that kind of stuff comes from. He was a very angry guy too. And so it was like that kind of became like my default of dealing with emotions. No matter what emotion I'm feeling, it's anger. I get angry about whatever. So
Yeah.
And I never talked about that openly. And I was embarrassed to talk about it. And I think that song helped me. I was just like, just put it out there, bro. It is, I got an anger problem. You know what I mean? Like it's something that'll plague me. We all have our shit. And it's a lot of times I think anger problems is guys like me. The super nice, like super friendly, but just like always pushes it down. Is always like, was bullied in school.
I mean, I'm like, one of my best friends, we always joke. I mean, I definitely am like, I'm an angry person sometimes.
Yeah.
Get it? And I feel like we're like, woo, yeah, you're out, you're like on the streets. I'm like, I understand. You're like, because that's just like, if you suppress it too much, then you're like.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the beauty of getting older is that stuff, everything loses its sharpness and its like potency with time passing.
Yeah.
And you can look back on things and just kind of reflect and not really feel either way about it. Just being, that makes sense why I do this, or I kind of understand where that's coming from, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a fucking crazy.
No, I mean, that's
question.
like, that was, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be a short answer. I just was like, that's clearly in here and it's playing into this somehow. So like, I was just curious about it.
And I was really close. The way it ties in with my grandmothers, my grandmother and grandfather were like, I spent more time with them than anybody.
And this is your,
my mom's mom
your
and my
mom's
mom's dad.
Okay.
And technically my mom's dad, it's not her blood dad.
Okay.
But no one ever talked about it. My papa was like, he just was all of our grandfather.
Okay.
But we all knew who like his biological grandkids were and then who the married into the family grandkids were.
Okay.
Because both my grandpa and my grandma had previous marriages before that.
It's not kind of funny when you're like, my grandparents were kind of like that too, and I just was like, oh, this is my grandpa, and this is my grandpa, and this is my other grandpa, and I like didn't think about it, and then you're like, when you learn about like biology, you're like, wait a second, which one of you is my fucking grandpa?
Totally.
Like I like never. It's like mind blowing when you figure that out, and you're like, wait a second, you're my mom's dad?
Yeah. Well, then that was me too. I grew up with divorced families too, and so I had a stepmom, stepdad, but then I had like grandparents, like all the
step. That's something like so, you don't call them like a step grandparent.
You don't.
Like,
it's weird.
Like literally, I have had both. Like had like a step grandparent, step grandma.
The way
step
we
grandpa,
changed it out, it was like it was granddad and grandpa and papa. Right?
On all the different ones.
That's how it always is. They all have different names usually, different ones. Most of the time.
But not mine.
We call them by like their full last name. Like Grandpa Steve is one of mine. So, and then like
so that's how it is with us too.
Grandpa Ted.
So
like
Callie,
they literally have their own names.
My little 12-year-old, that's how we describe grandparents to her. on Tira's side, it's we say Grandpa Paul, Grandma Sharon. But then on my side, it's different. It's like it's Granddad, it's Grandpa, and to differentiate the grandmas, we say dentist grandma, which is my mom because she's a hygienist, so we call her.
Oh my god,
grandma.
that's so funny. That's what I'm gonna tell my mom's a dental assistant. Like, we're gonna call you dentist grandma. But only one of my siblings has kids right now, but they're like grandparents, like like my mom and stuff, different things. Like I think she's just abuelita because she's Mexican, so they obviously were like, you racist. I'm just kidding. It's easier, and so he just calls him Lita, calls her Lita. Like, right? It's just easier to be like to differentiate, so you know who you're talking.
See,
about.
I have that too.
Abuelo.
Yeah, abuelo. My grandpa's an abuelo.
Abuela mojada. That's racist.
I'm just kidding.
Brown grandma.
But that's like, I mean, that's what we call my grandpa, like my mom's dad too. We call him abuelo. Like, so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that was just like naturally for them to be like, well, you can call her abuelita.
It gets more confusing because sometimes I say dad and I'm talking about my stepdad.
I do as well. And I talked to my therapist the other day. She's like, for sake, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I will always like in this sake, when I'm like trying to describe it out for you, I will say stepdad and blah, 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 because I know like we're talking about it, but I wouldn't do that. Like,
I always say my dad, Mo or Big Tony.
Always. Well, but I'm so like, so you're one of some of the first people I think that have ever had this conversation. I'm like, let me just make a little tree for you and like work it down. You're like trying to describe it and you're like, here's my 7 dads or whatever.
The truth is,
I'm always like, and people are like, what? I'm like, well, yeah, like, let me bring it down for you real quick.
I think that the illusion of like the normal ass family it's just an illusion. Yeah. I don't think it's as real as we think. I think they're probably in the minority, like people who have just regular. I don't know, man, families.
Because I feel like this always like comes up for me during like Thanksgiving time. I always think about this. I still have like
which family you have to go to.
Well, no, like that isn't a conversation for a lot of people. Yeah. And like a lot of people still get together with like their extended family. I don't know if you guys do or how your things works and stuff. Like
we just make everything here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Or like when you're like, I feel like I don't like the word broken, but like when you're like broken families, you're just like it.
Yeah.
Like I remember someone asking me at a show once. Like we were in the back. There was a couple of us performing and it was around Thanksgiving and they were like, what is everyone doing for the holiday, blah, blah, like saying they're all, and I was like, well, I don't really know what we're doing, but like, we'll probably get together. Right? Like, whereas like, it's very set for some people, like we go to grandma's house and we do this and like everyone comes. Well, it's,
no, I do.
I'm like, good
really
for
do.
you. But also I'm like, maybe it's just, I'm like, when you're like, I feel like it's not the norm. I'm like, cause I was like, trying to explain to them, I was like, well, I'm not entirely sure, but like my family's kind of broken up and they were like looking at me like I had 7 arms. I was like, this is not like, this is a lot of people.
Wait, who are these people?
But it also not a lot of people. I feel like I have like 50-50 in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Like I have some friends that have like their parents are still together.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense with the statistics. They like have their extended family. They're all doing their whole thing. And then I have like, some of my friends are like, they don't even talk to their parents. They're by themselves.
Yeah, that happens.
So I don't know how we even got on this tangent, but yeah, that's, I don't know if it's normal. Almost like everyone I date, I'm always like, you don't even fucking understand. Let's have like,
that's what's funny.
They never want to have that conversation, but I think like, it doesn't occur to people that don't have, that's a conversation that has to be had. Does your wife, let's segue out of this. Is your wife's family all still together? And does she's from where again? The Philippines?
The Philippines, yeah. Angeles City is where she's born.
Because you talk a lot about your wife also on this album.
I do.
And your family. It's actually one of my favorite songs. Is I think the second one.
Oh, the second, yeah.
I'm always like
the sun.
I love a good love song. But and it's just very like, it's very vibey. But how did you meet your wife? Does your wife family all still together? Do they live all over there?
They used to live here. All of them used to live here for a while.
Yeah.
That's who lived with you here you were talking about.
Yes and no.
No, my parents lived in this house.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, that was your mom and
that lived in this house. But we all lived together in my
old house.
Yeah. So they
do live here. They're not like
No, there's both.
Okay.
So there's a lot.
Because I know you
that are in
guys
the
said you went
Philippines.
to on vacation out there too, and so I was like, maybe they're visiting family.
Yeah, it was cool for me because I got to meet all the people that I talk to on FaceTime all the time.
Okay.
So like they're all a big family.
Okay.
For sure. But her dad died when she was really young. Her real dad. And so she has a stepdad now as well. How did I meet her? I met her. She worked for my mom. And
what? He's laughing. He's like,
It's a good story.
is it? She worked for my mom, and the moment I saw her, I was just like, I like her. I really liked her.
I love that.
lot. And we were both young at the time, super young, and I used to come out here all the time. From the time I was in high school, even my senior year in high school was the first time I came out to Colorado, and I'd come out here in the summer. Sometimes I'd stay with my parents and work at the gas station, things like that, and hang out. And so I would go to my mom's work all the time. And
what does your mom do? What was she doing at the time?
She does financial aid, which is what I did, what Mike does.
Okay,
Did
in the past. We all were once upon a time financially.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
That's
Jared, every one of our friends, I feel like.
But he met his wife through his mom at work, and she had a boyfriend.
She did. She had a boyfriend.
Was his name Brian?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Great
that's
job,
already
Mike.
that's already worse. Like Brian.
Well, yeah. So I
you were like,
also had a
look,
girlfriend
bitch.
too
I'm
at
just
the time.
Yeah. So but there was periods ever since I saw her.
You met her when you were
I
what,
liked her.
16, 17, 18?
No, when I first met her, I must have been I must have been 18
Okay.
when I first met her. And so over the years, though, I always kind of admired her from distance, but she was always with the same guy. And I didn't have like a lot of girlfriends, but sometimes I'd have a girlfriend, sometimes I wouldn't. But it wasn't
He's like, I'd like to clarify. So when did it finally come to fruition?
it finally, as soon as he broke up, they broke up.
Which was how long?
From the time I met her, and I was
Like, how old were you guys? Yeah.
I met her when I was 18,
21?
and then I know when we got together, I guess I would have been like 24.
6 years, dollar. Look at that. He waited a whole 6 years for that.
And it wasn't all the time, but it was just that I was always respectful. I'm never gonna like, if you guys are together, whatever. And there was all these rumors too that he was like mistreating her and like it wasn't a good relationship. There's always that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You want to be that white knight just comes in and you know what I mean? Like you have that instinct to do it, but you're like, that would be actually an asshole. Stop.
No,
Respect the relationship.
the asshole would be like going up to her and be like, "Hey, girl, what's up?"
Yeah.
It's
I'm
mine-
like, that's like
it's
a
mind. It's mind
you're
over
like-
You
matter.
man ain't got
You're
nothing
like-
to do with me.
Yeah.
If you're coming in and you're like, hey, I really want to treat you well and I really like you.
No, I would go in
And I hear your boyfriend's an asshole. I don't think that's like,
That's not gonna work. No.
that's not like-
That's why I
like-
said you got to go in machismo. You got to go in. Hey, girl, it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, then he don't matter.
make me out
What
like
the-
I was.
where did
was
you
never
come
that cool.
up with that? Okay, so you finally, she breaks up with her boyfriend. He breaks up with her or something.
Mm-hmm. And then we went on a date to, I think it was Chili's or something like that.
Love that.
Yeah. But there's some debate about that. She doesn't listen to the podcast. If she did, she'd be pissed that I even said that.
Why? Because she doesn't
Why?
think
What is
that was
hers
it.
at?
She says it wasn't that date, that it was a different date. And to this day, we also argue about our anniversary, whether it's the 6th or the 7th of January. Like, it's just an ongoing
You
thing.
got, like like not your wedding anniversary, but like just when
first
you
got
actually were
together, yeah.
together.
Yeah, when we were actually together.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why this story is like all over the place. I don't, it's like my
Well, I'm
OCD is like, where's the cohesive?
No, I mean I'm just curious. Like it just seems like
I used to
in
water
the
her
song.
plants. I'd go in and water her plants because she couldn't.
First of all, that's like a euphemism right there. You're like, water those plants because honestly, men water those plants. Where's the camera? Water them because for the love of God, they're out here just fucking bleeding these fucking plants dry. At least this is my personal experience.
Oh my god, that's
Can someone water my plants for me instead of sucking the the water out of the soil? Okay, anyway.
I'm zoomed in on you right now. Just keep going.
Instead of digging out of the ground from under her.
Yeah, instead of literally ripping me up by my roots, can you water
Could you
these
just
fucking plants?
water the plants?
And where you water, things will grow. Okay. Anyway, when did you guys end up getting married? Because you have your kids are
We
old.
didn't get married. No, we had
They're
kids.
not older, but like old. But like
We
you
had
have
2 kids when we got married. When
Okay.
we actually got married, that was 2009. when we got married, and that was.
What do you mean? You
before-
were like, we had 2 kids. We were done. Oh, you
They already
already
had 2
had
kids.
2
We
kids.
already had 2 kids,
okay.
and then we had
by
a
the time you
third
got
after.
married.
Yeah.
Damn, you went the other. So how long were you together before you got married? You just didn't.
So
What
here's
was the marriage thing?
Here's what happened.
Okay.
So they broke up. We had not been together long. You can measure it in months, not even years yet.
Okay.
We'd been together months. I was literally living with my parents.
Okay.
And she was living in the house she owned with her parents. That's a different thing, right? Because I
Yeah.
didn't own the house that my parents lived
Yeah.
in. I was just shacking up with my
boss
folks.
womaning it.
And she's
out
like,
here.
yeah.
She's like, I own the house, and my parents lived in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wouldn't
Okay.
say that, but I'll say it for her.
Wait, is your wife much older than you?
No, we're
No,
the same
she's
age.
just fucking.
Same age,
She
yeah.
was just killing
Same
it.
age.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Which, by the way, I showed I told you about this. Showed a picture of me and my wife to my students.
And
They
they were
really want to know what my wife looked like. And I said, "Here's a picture of us at Vail a couple weeks ago," and they're like, "That's not your daughter." And I said,
she's like,
and I was like, "Shut up!"
Younger looking,
I said,
yeah.
"You better watch it. I control your grades." And then he was like, "They were like, but Mister, that's your wife?" And I said, "Yeah."
Mister.
How much older are you than her? And I said, "We were born the same year, fool. You better stop."
No, I'm
You're
like, I've seen
tripping."
her. Obviously, I know, but I was just like, when you said she owned her house, I'm like, was she
Yeah.
just old? Like, was she older than you? And that's why she owned her house? No, she was just killing it.
No, she was killing it. She graduated from high school in the Philippines at 16.
Okay.
Had an associate's degree by the age of 18.
Damn.
Was like
And then, because was out here working.
was
for your
working her
mom.
way up, getting her education at the same time, and then doing real estate on the side. Like she was not me. I was a fucking gypsy floating around
California to
selling
Colorado.
weed in Cali and just like going
Honestly,
to
yeah. I'm
college
like,
for
I'm
8
looking,
years.
I'm in gypsy mode too. I'm like, if
Yeah.
anyone is working and then also real estate on the side.
Jordan
Yeah.
Yewey. You can
and
find
owns
me
a
on all.
home. I'm just kidding.
You can find me on all.
I know you're not
platforms.
supposed to ask. It's rude. But how old are you? Can I ask
I'm
you?
32.
32. So you can still be a gypsy. You're still
Yeah.
gypsying it up.
Can I? I feel like
I
it's
think so.
old sometimes. I'm like, my mom, like,
No,
my
32
parents
is
had
young.
me when I was like, my mom had me when I was like, she was 25. And I'm always like,
I was 26 when I had my first kid.
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, and you were gonna say, okay, so what happened? You measured it in months, you said. You can measure it in months and
We
then,
had a plan to get to a place together, so we got one.
okay.
We got an apartment. We moved in.
Fast? Like in months?
It was day 7 in the apartment, and I was laying on the bed. I think I was looking. I don't know if I was looking at my phone.
We don't want to
to
hear the whole conception.
No, that's not. Yeah, that started. So
I'm like,
I
wait a
dimmed the
second.
lights.
You moved in together after a couple months, is what you're.
No, I'm so fucking long-winded. It's unbearable sometimes. No, we just moved in and we found out we were pregnant.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So I was laying on the bed. She came and told me, "Hey, this is a positive pregnancy test." And I was like, "Shut the fuck up. That's a joke." And she was like, "No, it is for real." And I said, like every guy probably does, "Can you do it again?" She did it again.
What do you mean? First of all, from a conception standpoint, you were like, that's a joke. Like, you were being careful. That's a joke.
No, there was one. No, we were mostly careful.
If you were like, that's such a guy thing to say. Like, that must be a joke. Like, that's not how it works.
No, that's not how pregnancy works.
Yeah.
But okay, so that was fast.
Come on, I was
I'm
20.
I'm giving you shit. Like, you know,
as
when
you
people
should.
are like, what?
As you should. I was 26, but I
You're
started.
like, yeah, it turns out.
I started hyperventilating.
Oh, whoa.
Bro, I worked at a gas station.
His
I was like-
his wife's killing it.
I
Tony's
was
over
like,
here gas
I'm
station.
not going to be able to. How can I support a kid? How can I do
Did
my
you
part?
want kids before
Definitely.
that? Yeah,
I
yeah.
always wanted kids.
But I mean,
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
just like, at that point, you were
Right,
like,
it
not right
wasn't-
now.
Just didn't think. It was like immediate. Like we literally just moved into our apartment. We were like, are you
Seventh
fucking
day in there.
kidding me?
A week in there.
Yeah.
Well, why did her parents were still living at the house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Still living at the house. Yeah, so found out we were pregnant, and then it was Jaden. We had Jaden. He was the first one born.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we had Jillian. And the same year Jillian was born, we got married. She was so mad at me because we had our wedding
Yeah, I
planned.
was like, God,
and then she got
come
pregnant
on.
again. She was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? It's funny.
I know it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then did you go on a honeymoon?
We didn't get to. We were
she was
supposed to.
preggo?
No, we were supposed to go on a honeymoon because the baby was already born.
Okay.
And she had a little time too. It wasn't like right before Jillian was several months old at that point, which she just cried the entire wedding. Jaden slept the entire wedding. The only way we could get him to wear a suit was we convinced him that he was Bruce Wayne. Because he was like, he only wanted to participate in the wedding if he could dress as Batman.
I would have just let him. Honestly, would have been like,
we let him do a lot of crazy shit.
And you were like, not that. No, I was just wondering. I'm like,
I was for it.
That's hilarious. You're like, yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, like for the aesthetic, you're like, okay, well, I would like to get married once and have it be nice for the love of God.
Yeah. So there was so what happened the night of our wedding was there was a car crash. And everybody was okay, but a couple people did end up having to go to the hospital and just get checked out. Yeah, it was. That was one of the most horrific experiences in my life. Have I told you?
Yeah.
I was ready to kill. Frankie's been on the show before. He's my brother-in-law.
Okay.
And there was a car crash, and so right before everybody left, we were supposed to go on our honeymoon, right?
Okay.
So we were leaving. We were going back to our hotel. We were a lot of us were staying in a hotel there, and a lot of people were driving back into town. And so we were going to go stay in our hotel that night. But Jaden had woken up by the end of the wedding, and he did not want to be separated from me. And he was screaming and crying. And I've always been like that. Like I'm just so empathic or whatever. Like I felt the pain and I was like, God, maybe we just bring him with us. And Myra was like, hey, shut up. No, it's our honeymoon. Stop it. But for me, it was like painful. I was like, oh God, okay. So then I get a phone call. We're at our hotel. We're laughing. We're about to eat some of the chocolates we had in our hotel. And I pick up the phone and it's Frank. And he's like, Tony, oh my God, it's a car accident. It's so bad. I said, what are you talking about, Frank? What are you talking?
That's never the way to lead.
Yeah. He's the one who left with my son.
Okay.
By the way.
Yeah. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean, Frankie? And he goes, oh man, it's bad. It's a diesel. And I was like, I couldn't fucking take it. I was like ready to cuss his face off. And I gave the phone to Myra and I was like, you got to talk to him. I'm going to kill him. What is he talking about? Are our kids okay? And then she talks to him. He won't. Same thing. She hands the phone back to me. And then finally he spits it out. And I'm like, okay. So there was an accident. Some people are kind of hurt. Some people are going to the hospital. And then finally, when he heard me repeatedly asking about Jaden, he was like, oh, no. Jay's fine. And I was like,
Jesus, can you lead with that? You're the person watching my children right now.
To this day, I never understood. I tease him. I'm like, why did you say it like that? Like, I was scared shitless. And I just had that moment with my son, you know what I mean? So we never did, and it was an ongoing thing that forever we never did. And technically, I think we went to Estes Park one time, and we called it a honeymoon, but we never really did a real honeymoon. So we're talking about one day, like 15th anniversary, 20th anniversary, something.
And then, so how long have you been with your wife now? Then how old are you?
17, 18.
I'm really just trying to ask how old you are.
Oh yeah, no, I'm 46. So
okay, so 20 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I'll be 47 in February. That's fucking crazy. I'm approaching 50. I cannot even believe that.
I mean,
brace yourself. It'll happen before you know it. I bet you 32 feels like that already, right?
All right. He's like, your life
I'm just warning you. I'm just warning you.
No, it already feels like that. Sometimes I feel like I'm like 5 and I'm like, I'm old. Yeah. I saw like a bunch of kids in high school on the way, like when I stopped at Target to get my energy drink, and I was like, holy shit, I'm old.
You are not old.
They were like this, looking at you like this.
No, they were looking at me like, that girl's makeup is fire. I know. And I was like, yeah, teenagers love me. Because probably because I think I'm like 20. But
you do look 20, by the way.
Yeah, I'm like,
you really do.
I don't really understand it, but that is.
Well, even your music's young. Like all the kids, that's what the joke.
That's what we were saying. Yeah, all the girls like loved you. They were just like in love.
I was telling Tyler, I was like, bro, because my daughter was there with a lot of her friends that night. Yeah. Actually, both of them had their friends there. Yeah. So there was a whole group of them there. Yep. They're the ones clapping and everything. But they were so into your music. And that's what I was telling Tyler. I was like, bro, I play at the house with these girls here all the fucking time. They don't give a shit, right?
I told him when they came into it and they were like, oh my God. I'm like, by the way, your dad is an amazing musician. And she's like, yeah, I know.
He's
she goes, no, I know. And they were singing all the lyrics to your song. So like, they know.
No, I know.
But, yeah, no, I do already feel old. But I feel like, back to the point, I'm just kidding. No. It's like a loopity-loop around. You've been with your wife for a long time, and I feel like that showed in the song.
Yeah. That's why
it's like self-reflective, but it's also like, when I was listening, I think that's why I like it, because you're self-reflecting in the song, but also just really like expressing a lot of love for her in the song as well, because it's just obvious that you guys have been together for a long time when you're listening to it, because it's like
the story.
Your car's getting repoed in the snow. Did your car actually get repoed in the snow?
Yeah.
That was the other thing. I was like, what?
And I was in my boxers, literally. I was begging the guy not to take my 1998 Ford Taurus, and he said, if you don't give me any trouble,
I'll let you take your stuff,
and you give me the keys, I'll let you get all your shit out the car. And I was like, thank you. And I got all my shit out, and he drove off with the car. That song is about how she, I've always heard people say that like behind, and this is like kind of old fashioned, I guess, because of, but I guess it should be updated to just be like a person's spouse or that person that they love, that they form that relationship with, is the biggest indicator of like their success in their life. And the old school version is always like behind every good man is a strong woman or a good woman. I don't think,
I'm like, I know how that can seem old fashioned, but I don't think it's old fashioned. I think if anything, that's like a really feminist statement, basically saying men don't do shit without women. You see a good man, that's because he got a good woman, and not because he's doing it himself.
Yeah, true. You're right.
And statistics prove that.
I'm so paranoid. I'm a teacher, so I always I'm like always like.
No. I know what you're saying. You're like, but that's.
Don't cancel.
I don't think that's really like.
Yeah.
I don't think that is an indication of what you're thinking.
Yeah,
that
because
makes sense.
I really do believe that, and that's what that song is about. Is like, where would this fucking pot selling, smoking gypsy have ended up without her? I don't know. The first thing she did was like, bro, if like she was in love with me too, and she was like, we're gonna like be together. Like, you got to get your money fixed. I had debt. I had run up credit cards. They were taking my car. I did not pay attention to money at all. To this day, I struggle to like pay attention to what I'm doing with my money. It's just like an ongoing thing. That was the first thing. She was like, you need to file bankruptcy. So immediately she had me file bankruptcy. For 7 years, my credit was totally fucked. But in the end, it's been worth it because now my credit's phenomenal, and it's been phenomenal for a long time. But it was all because she knew how to do that. She did that with that. She helped me figure out how I was going to finish school. And all along the way, she was just always there guiding me in a positive direction. And I think that's what that song really is about. And that's why I'm like, love like the sun. Like, the sun is so immensely bright, and it seems to forever be burning, and it's like really can be super fucking hot and intense sometimes. And that's why I just liked that. I like that analogy for the song. Like,
I think it was good. I like the like also how the juxtaposition between like the verses and the chorus, how it's kind of like in a minor, I feel like, and then it goes like major in the chorus.
Exactly.
And I thought that was like interesting as well, because it's like kind of talking about these different things in the growth, and then it is going to that. And so that's probably like one of my favorites. I like that song.
Hell yeah. Thanks.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
But I also really like, oh my God.
Philippines one?
Yeah, the Philippines one.
Here and Now.
Thank you. I was like, God, what is it called?
That's funny.
I was going to say Hallelujah, and I was like, that's not what it's called.
Oh, that one has the one that has Hallelujah in it.
That's stuck in
something
your head.
Love Like the Ocean or something.
That's Love Like the
Okay.
Ocean.
Yeah.
Love. Yeah. No.
That one too?
No, because I love Like the Sun. I don't even know my own songs.
What's the ocean one? There is one that says
My Love is the Ocean.
My Love is the Ocean. That one, yes. Okay. But yeah, I liked that Philippines one as well that you wrote. You wrote that when you were on vacation?
No, as soon as we got home.
You were like, God, I want to go back. I'm just gonna do that. That one was got some good vibes. That was one that. That's when like you were singing that when we were at the release, and Tyler looked over at me and he was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he said
like,
he liked that
good
song.
Vibes. Yeah, like he's like, this is a good song. And I was like, yeah, it just felt like very
that's dope.
Good.
Well, because it was real, that whole experience of coming back. That's why I wanted to write a song about it, because I was like, it's really wild to me how different places are so different socially. Like, it was hard to explain. Like, here, everybody's like, what do you do for work, right? That's like one of the things we always talk about. Like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a teacher. Oh, I do this. I don't know what fucking any of those people did. But that's
like a really like capitalist, weird American thing is to be like,
all together.
What do you do? Car do you drive?
All the time. We just hung out all the time. There was karaoke.
Yeah.
There was chilling. We were always figuring out dinner together. There was always so many people coming and going. And people would be like, all the time. You'd be like, okay, I'll see you guys later. I got to go to work. And then we wouldn't see them for a while, and then we'd see them later. And I never thought to be like, where the fuck did you go? Where do you work? Like, what do you guys do? Like, I never asked.
Because it's like living, and so here I feel like we ask a lot of things is like really fast. It's like living to work versus like working to live.
Yeah.
And there's that weird balance. But I feel like you can feel that in there where it's just kind of like, oh, in the song, it feels almost, you're like, I'm just like I'm just chilling. I'm just making dinner. Right. Like, and I don't mean that in a weird way. It's just like that's
not at all.
The kind of mindlessness that you get in a good way when you're just like in flow. And it's just like, I'm just living and I'm not. What are you playing Sudoku over here? What is he doing over here? He's playing solitaire.
His hands are just all.
I'm like, he's like, this fucking conversation. You know? Oh my God. No, but that song, I feel like you can feel that in there. For sure. I also random. I don't even. This is not a question, but I liked the use of organs in this.
Did you?
In this album.
Thanks.
I love a good organ. Try to sneak it in a lot of things, but it just doesn't always work for some things. But it worked really well in this.
Thanks.
And I was like, I liked the musicality. How long did it take you to do this entire album? Like when did you like finally get? You were like, I'm going to do this, I think. And then, but when you made that decision to like, when it actually
I made the decision in like February or March of last year.
Okay.
And then I broke ground on recording in early May, like the first week of May. I was still teaching and I knew I was going to record over the summer. And so I just wanted to get a jump on it. And so I started recording then. And then I recorded incessantly through the whole summer. When I wasn't recording, I was mixing. When I was doing shit all the fucking time. I was listening. I was constantly playing back songs. Like, you know how it is. Like, I'm so sick. I was so sick of the album.
2 years. That's right. Like almost. That's why I wanted to sit and talk to you about, because I'm like, I'm in the process of doing that and trying to describe that to people, because I think it comes out and people are like, oh, like you made this and you must have just like gone in your bedroom and like recorded it and it took like 6 months or something, and you're like, I've listened to these songs 700 fucking times, but I feel like you can tell that because it's
I can tell you
it's
every
so put together that well.
Mistake on that album, I can tell you. There's stuff in it still right now that I'm like, that bothers me.
So I can get that. So that was, I mean, that's a decently long time. Were you just like working on it? But I feel like that's pretty normal, like cycle of like even people when they're putting albums out.
Oh yeah,
like bigger. It's like a 2-year cycle. Like you're like, but you're doing everything yourself, which is insane.
This album was like what woke me up back to music. I was done. I kind of thought I was just like retired from my hobby. Like I was like, I'm not really probably going to do this anymore. I'll probably always kind of write and play, but I'm not going to. Once I fell in love with teaching and I was just like, but I realized what the problem was. This album taught me what was wrong.
What was
I had been playing the same fucking songs for like 20 years.
You have to keep writing. Yeah.
I was like, what am I? And I would write new songs, but they were like private little songs and I wouldn't do them live. And I just don't know. I got in this groove of like the safety of the songs I know work.
Yeah,
I know
I do
this
that.
song
I mean,
works.
you see that. Sometimes I'll still always play like. Sometimes I play like I play Shot of Whiskey because people want to hear it, but I'm like, I can understand that because like once you're far removed, like a few years out from a song, it just kind of like it doesn't ever lose its essence. Like I listen back to some of those songs, like I'm even working on like putting some of the older stuff together because like I feel like I'm playing catch up. Like I know some of these songs that you said on this album are a little bit older, and I feel like you're like.
Yeah.
They gives it a little bit of a new life when you're trying to like actually mix it and record it, I think. But I can understand that where you're like, if you're not constantly writing or like pouring into it, it's just like boring.
I was bored and burnt out and I didn't know it. I just thought I lost my passion for performing. I was like, it's just my own thing. Because I never have lost my passion for writing.
Yeah.
And I've never stopped writing. Like in my whole life, even when I'm not ever playing out or nothing, I constantly just come up with songs. Like I'm always thinking about stuff. I think in
I don't think it's like a faucet you can like turn off.
No, it's not. And that's when I really fell in love with it. Because I was like, man, I realized when I started teaching that I still want to do this, but I just didn't want to play live. And then when I was like, why don't you just make an album? Like, you haven't made an album in years. Let Go Fly. What fucking year was that? 2014 or something? Shit?
I don't remember. You took it off.
Yeah, and then I was doing all that.
He's not sassy about it.
Yeah, I could always like re-release Let Go Fly if you wanted me to. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. I think that. I mean, I still have more questions, but I think this album is amazing.
Thanks.
And I think there's like a
appreciate that
really
from you.
good
That's a
through
lot.
line, and I really think you should push it more.
I should what?
You should push it more
Push
and
it
like
more.
do stuff
Yeah.
with it. I
Well,
just think like it's really good. And obviously I've heard you play live and I love it. I
Thanks.
honestly want a
It's-
live album, do that too. But
I thought about that because it's so different.
yeah, like it just
See.
you're like so good in God, what is it called?
Oh, loop.
Looping and just thinking. It just works. Like you're really good at that. And there's just something about the energy of it. But sitting down and actually listening to it after you were like, no, like this is like full studio and I did all this stuff. Did you play all the pieces and the guitar? Like did all of that stuff?
Yeah.
The piano?
Yes. Piano, yes. Now
You played the piano too?
Yes.
Like you did like the full.
Yeah.
There's a song that's like really heavy piano. I want to say maybe it's the last one.
There's always a couple. Oh yeah. What
But
is
I was
the
like,
last-
damn, this is like a full fledged.
Yeah.
Wandering Through the Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it has like a really strong.
Motherfucking Mozart over here.
Yeah, I mean, like I put like things together on like I don't know how to play the piano, but I can put like a little piano thing together. But there's like a lot of musicality going into it, and I didn't know you could play the piano and stuff like that. But I was like, did he do all of this? Like,
Thanks.
there's a lot of stuff going on. There's like, and there's a lot of moments. I actually like that the songs like 2 are longer. Because they're vibey songs, and like so even in like the first one in American Dream, there's like the bridge or whatever the section, it's just like a fucking solo and stuff in there, and I was like, this is nice because I feel like people don't do that anymore. Like
I know.
everything's like really like,
Yeah.
They try to
Short
make it
little
succinct.
verse.
but yeah, I'm like
Poppin'
there's a lot
chorus.
of like just like little pockets too. It's just music, but like they don't feel empty. They feel like a lot of stuff going on.
Cool.
Cool. Is that like how they came to you, or did you do that intentionally? Like,
Oh, intentionally. Now,
were like, I'm gonna
I
try
come
and, like-
from the 90s, like jam bands,
Okay.
and like I love music. Like I'm a songwriter, but that's why I love Giant Walking Robots. Their songs are 11 minutes long, bro. And they just
fucking love that.
jam and solo
Yep.
and do all kinds of crazy shit. And so that's to me.
there's some reason I gotta know this Giant Walking Robots band. Apparently, I'm gonna have to look it up later. I'm like, I don't know what the reasoning behind that is, but
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Just like our ChatGPT talk on last
I know
time
that's
you were
literally.
here.
I
It's
was like, this. That is the strangest thing in the world.
synchronicity.
But
Yeah.
things are meant to be, and I really do it. Like that night, I walked away like, we need to do more shit together.
yeah, I think
should-
too. When you were just talking about too, like playing out,
Yeah.
and like I do think that can lead you like to losing a little bit of that like spark, because it's just like it can be too repetitive
Playing
when you're
live.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like I always like differentiate, like I play gigs and I play shows.
Yes.
Like yours, I would
100%.
tell my people and be like, come to this one, it's a show, because I'm gonna play my songs, and it's gonna be like
The gigs are
I'm gonna
what wear
pour
you down.
energy into it. Yeah. But I think I've learned like some weird balance, because I'm like, I'd still gig a lot, and that's how I make like most of my money. But I'm just like, I'm vibing
No,
with
and
it,
don't
and I just
think-
show up, and I'm not trying to put on.
Yeah, I know
I think
exactly what
before
you
I
mean.
used to be like, I'm just every single gig, no matter where it is, I'm like coming here and I'm like trying to make you fall in love with me. And sometimes now I'm just like, I'm showing up and playing music. If you like it, cool.
Cool.
If you want to see me do what I do,
That's healthy.
you can come to a show.
I think that's healthy.
And back to the point though, I think we should do shows, but I feel like they also should be spread out. I just feel like there's
Yes, you
like,
have
it's
to.
so pushed, and it's so like,
Yeah. It was a lot.
It's a lot.
Putting the album release together.
well, that's what I'm like, even just things like that. It's hard, but also it's like, it's when you do it every so often, I feel like then you can put the actual
Well, here's
energy
the
into
thing.
it. That's worth it.
I agree with you, and I hope I'm not giving. I think sometimes people have the impression that I don't want to play gigs, but the truth
I mean,
is,
bitch, no one wants to play gigs. It's fine. I'm
No,
not
I do,
saying,
though.
I was just saying like, I've learned, I can understand that, because I feel like even like a year or two ago, if you would ask me, like, I don't want to do that.
You
I don't
get
think anyone wants to like go out and be just like peddling stuff, but I think I just had to learn that it was like, well, it's not, sometimes it's just not about me. Like sometimes I'm
Dude,
just in the
those-
corner and
at
I'm
a
playing.
gig where I have to play 3.5 hours. That's why I started looping, honestly, because if
That
you
takes
just-
up like
if
4 or
you're a
5 minutes right there,
songwriter-
baby.
If you
Bow!
just have a guitar and you're a songwriter,
Yep.
good luck doing a 4-minute song. Like once you get into that 4 or 5 minutes, you can't keep going. people are fascinated with the loop. You can throw a loop down and then solo. So gigs, which are those 3-hour things, sometimes they're in bars, sometimes they're, wherever, events and stuff like that. Those, I'm the same way. I might not even talk in the mic. I'm like, I literally will just jam for a while.
I'm like, there's
I'll
gotta
sing, I'll
be
say
like,
hi.
I think like, this weird thing where I was just like, you're always trying to show up and like, even at the gigs, I feel like some bands or some people are trying to show up and you're like trying to win people over. And I'm like, I'm not trying to win people over. I'm just here. I'm getting paid to play for 3 hours. That's the healthiest
way to do it.
And I'm going to jam out. I'm going to play some of my songs. And I'm going to sing because I liked. And like, I would do this on a regular Wednesday. So I'm going to show up here and just do it. And like, if it's mediocre, it's mediocre. Like some days it's not good. Like some days I don't have a lot of energy, but it's like,
it took me
it's still pretty good.
So long to figure that out.
But like, I feel like it took me way too long to figure that out because I would like show up at a fucking smoky ass bar with like 3 people and I'd be like, let me put on a Taylor Swift Eras tour for you, like energy level. So I think that was healthy, but I can also understand what you're saying. Like that's like a weird thing to grapple with when you're trying to put music out into the world and put art out into the world. And then you have this other component where you're like, this feels like repetitive and kind of like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah. And I think really what ruined it for me was just playing the same damn songs. I just played the same songs and
really comfortable.
Songs. Yeah, and I have a lot of songs. I think right now with the album I'm like right around 45 or something like that.
Okay.
Of original tunes that I like to play. But there was always like the core 12, and I just played them at every
the ones that Mike's
show.
always asking. Mike's the only person there at mine and your shows, so he's like, "Yeah, play more,
dancing in the sunshine."
Yeah. No, but I mean, I don't think that's ever bad. Like people always, if my family's like, "Play this song," I'm like, "Okay, if you want to hear it, I'll play it for you."
There was times where like he would do shows, and it would just be like me and Mo, his dad.
Yeah, those are gigs.
Literally,
gigs.
That's what I'm saying. That's
out.
how it feels like. And that's like people also are like, you don't post that anymore. I go, because you don't need to be there. You don't need to come out to see me play at this bar or like this restaurant. I'm playing here to be like, for the people that show up.
Those 3-hour gigs, I do them because I get to do something I really love. And like you said, I'd be doing it right here anyway for free. And I'm going to get some money out of it.
Some money out
the money is very inspiring.
My mom's always like, I'm like, I don't post those things. I'm like, I don't care to like draw the extra people out. Does that make sense? I'm like, I'm like, if you want to come see me, like here's some shows I'm doing that I'm like, come see this.
See, that's the reality of working musicians, the vast majority of us.
Oh, yeah.
You have your superstars that have these big labels and all this weird shit. But for the most part, almost all of us musicians who are doing this, that's what the day today is. Like when you're out there making money, you're doing some gig. It's not a massive show. Whereas like if you're, I don't know, whoever, Taylor Swift, every show is a fucking gargantuan event. But so many times for us hustling musicians who just love our craft, love writing songs, and love performing and playing music for people, that's the reality of it. I never thought about it like that, but that's such a good way to put it, like gigs versus shows. I knew there was a difference in my head, but now it helps me to really differentiate because you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and that's like...
I think I burned out on gigs, not shows. Shows are always fun. No. Because people are there and they're locked in and there's a vibe in the crowd like that.
Those are the best. Yeah, you're like, cool, let me actually talk to you about my music and play you my music and the things like, and there people are actually like usually there to actually listen, like, right? Like for your release party, people are there to like actually listen to music. Versus like, and I'm not trying to like extra win you over. It's like you're here because you like it already. For some reason, you're already here.
Yeah,
I get to talk about it.
Well, what is it? One of our podcast episodes we had Mitch Jones, comedian, and we were talking like Tony said, like I go to a lot of his shows, I go to a lot of his gigs and everything like that. And Mitch is like, yeah, he goes, musicians can do that though. He goes, because you like the music, you're jamming, you're vibing with it. He goes, I can only invite so many people to my shows all the time. It's the same joke every single time. He's like,
oh, you can. That makes sense.
People want to hear the same song again, but maybe not the same joke.
Yeah.
That's God. That's really true. I never even thought about that. Comedians, I feel like I like listening to comedians talk about like their craft too, because they also like people don't realize that they're doing it.
Yeah.
The same thing every single night, and it's a set. I'm even talking to my friends about that, and she's like, "No, it's probably a little bit different." I'm like, "Yeah, there's probably like some random thing like." every now like a thought that gets thrown in, but I'm like, no, like they're doing sets. Like it's a
Yeah.
set and they're doing the same thing every night. Like I know only because I read like so many books and like listened to podcasts of them talking about it. Like I'm like, that's not what's happening. Like we could go tomorrow in Kansas City and they're going to do the same set that we saw tonight.
They don't get enough credit because like he was saying, he's like, most of us comedians wish we were musicians.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but it's so different because like we have so many advantages. For one, if you sit up there and you're playing music, it's almost nobody in the audience is like,
boo.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that. With comedians, they hear them. They don't understand it's a set. They don't understand that hours and hours and hours have been poured into these jokes. They get up there and like, this fucking guy's up here talking shit. I could do that, bro. Until you try to do it,
I
and
honestly,
you realize how hard
now
it is.
we're literally sitting. I'm like, I lost that craft. For a while too, when I was doing shows, I started like listening to a lot of comedy and like listening to comedians talk because I was like, I need to like know how to talk.
It's
like
so
in
true.
between these songs too, when I was doing like
Yeah.
some like songwriter showcases and stuff, and like I was like,
Yeah.
I can tell a story, but I need like a succinct, funny sort of like little tidbit
to grab
to put
people.
in here. Yeah, because I'm like
Yeah.
not like trying too hard, but right like. Because it's like when you sit and talk about a song, sometimes like we'll sit and talk about for like we've seen right now today. I'm like, if you ask me about one of the songs about, let's go back to when I was 5 and blah, 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 and then you're like tying because that's how our brains work. But like you're like, I need like a succinct, funny little clip to be like, this is what this song
You're
is
so
about.
right. And I spend time doing that where but I never use them. So
You're like driving in the car, you're like, I do this all the time. I'm like, I'm getting interviewed. I'm like, and this song is about blah 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 blah.
no,
and
I sit down with the song and I think about.
He's like, not that. That's
It's like, okay, weird.
and you think about
That's weird,
what
Jordan.
you think what you would say if like you were trying to put like a succinct thing together.
I free form just write and I just write like as if I'm talking about like what I love about the song or like why I think this is important or what I think is great about the song or why it connects to you or to me or whatever. And then I just fucking shave it down to nothing. And then I don't like script it. But that process alone, when I play that song, I automatically think like, oh, yeah, I wanted to hit this point and I wanted to hit this before I jumped in. Just
like
because like you
songwriting,
said, that was
insights.
like the first time I've always struggled with the same thing of like selling my music or trying to like being like, this song is important, you should hear it because I've never been good at that. I've always like, I write my songs and I don't know. If you don't like it, I get it. That's, it's like that. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
It's too much like that.
I mean, yeah, there's like different elements to it. I actually enjoy probably talking about them more than I would like
Performing.
to admit.
Oh,
yeah,
about
like
your songs.
just because I feel like that's why I wanted to
me
sit
too.
down and talk to you about your songs. We've just been blabbing this whole time, but literally, because there is like so much more than like what's actually put into them, usually in the background of them. And what I guess. So I know that you said you started last February?
Oh, no. That's when I first conceived of it.
That,
and I
yeah.
did a little writing, but I started I hit the studio recording
like,
in
last
early
summer.
May. Yeah.
Okay. Was there like a through line or something like when you put it all together and you chose these songs specifically?
The through line, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, you said you were almost going to name it something else.
I had 2 other names.
Okay.
One was going to be Love Like the Sun. At one point, I thought that was going to be the centerpiece. What was the original name? I can't actually.
And you said there was something from maybe, God, what was this? The other song where you say Tony Baloney. That's what I call it. I'm going to call that song Tony Baloney.
Yeah, it might have been. That's what I was trying to think. But Out of My Way. That song had 2 different names at one point. It was Anger Problem and the other
Anger Problem?
Yeah. And I was like, because I always loved that in the 90s when like grunge bands would do that. Like the name of the song would just be like
different.
one obscure little line in the song. You know what I mean? Tony Baloney.
He's playing solitaire again. Look at
No,
him.
I'm trying to. I know.
What are you doing? Researching
I know.
all of life over there?
No, there's another the other
He's
album
like,
you were going to call it. I have
you're
in our chat somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's like, I know the name. He knows it.
It was Love Like the Sun. Yeah, the through lines, though, I think there's just a few of them. It's just kind of like, to me, about growth and reflection and getting your shit out of your own way. Like, to me, that's what this whole album was about, was like, just be real. Stop trying to pretend anything. Let everything go and just be who you are and get your fucking self out of your way, because you overthink everything. You're always worried about shit and you've held on to so much pain from the past. It's time to just let everything go. Shed even these old songs. Now what's funny is the old songs are fun to play again. You know what I mean?
That makes sense though when you're saying that's what the through line is. I mean, I guess I could have picked up on that anyway, like the through line of it, but I'm just like curious what like everyone has when you're conceiving something, what is the actual through line? And then are they in a certain order for a reason? Or did you try and put them like based off of listenability? Like how did you end up putting them together the way that they are?
That's a good question. That no one ever would ask something like that.
I don't know but you did tell me the Love of the Sun.
You Love Like the Sun.
Love Like the Sun was the first one. And then you asked me
he said something fucking dumb.
No, he asked me because I heard all his songs before everybody.
Okay, fucking low key brag. He's like, I heard the songs for everyone. Heard them. It's like, okay, we get it. It's the Mike and Tony show. It's not like we know your best friend.
I told Tony that my favorite song before everything was American Dream. So he knows
that one's your favorite one.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one? I mean, that's a dumb question when you just made a whole album.
I would have to pick. It's between two. It would be between Love Like the Sun, the second one, and Here and Now. Those were probably like my two favorites.
Okay.
But these are the ones that I
actually was like trying to think of a favorite one. I was like, I kind of was having a hard time with it.
These are the two titles I gave Tony, and he gave, and I'll tell you what his response was.
Because they're all bad. I'm just kidding. No.
I'll tell you what Tony's response was to my two.
I think I remember this.
The first one I said, Rhythms of Right Now. That's what I said. I said Rhythms of Right Now. And then the other one's The Tides of Truth and Harmony. And then Tony's response was, let me think about those.
Yeah, because there's definitely I mean, that's the through line.
I wasn't going to think about
if he was going to describe the album, those are good through lines, but they're not like, you usually want to pull something from like directly from a song. It doesn't have to be like the main title, but like something from one of the songs that's like, oh, so when people are listening, they're like, that's where that came from. Why did you, and so you landed on Huckleberry Surprise?
I landed on Huckleberry Surprise because I have a couple reasons. One, it's the catchiest song, in my opinion, on the album. Like the chorus of that song, I feel like it's an earworm compared to some of the other ones.
I mean, I was like, I think I told you at your show, I was like, I was looking for it. I think you played it at the live podcast we did. And then when I was going through your discography. Right.
You remembered that before.
Yeah. And I was like, I think that it's like a pie. Like I was like, it's like a berry. Like I was trying to remember all the words because I had filmed some of it and I like went back and watched it on my phone.
Yeah.
So I could like learn and I was like, okay, I'm assuming this is called Huckleberry Surprise, but I was like, I don't know. And I was like looking for it and I could not find it. And I was like, maybe he did the obscure name thing, like where it's named something else. I'm like going through your whole discography trying to find it. So when I was like, wait a second, this is that song I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that one was kind of older. And then I just thought the name was really unique and stood out. The same reason that I kind of went with like the crazy colors on the album. Because not all the versions of the album cover was going to be like all psychedelic colored like that.
Yeah,
like
I had asked you said there's like an interesting story about...
Not really.
The artwork? Wait, you said it, you're like...
was like, what? Well, Mike knows I was in a serious drawing phase for a while. And so I have like so many drawings over here. I like really got into it for a while, and I just
drew this?
Not exactly. So I drew it, but then I fucked with it graphically so many different ways, and it's all done like unprofessionally. Like I do it on my phone through my
I mean,
like,
I do that too.
You know, like phone it. Oh, that was the original album cover right there.
That was the original album cover.
Okay, damn, I like that.
I know. Sometimes I think that might have been the move,
but I don't think so. Because I think that's one, I do like that because I'm a weird space nerd.
Oh, me too.
But this is way more unique,
more catchier looking.
It's just unique, and I think the through line makes more sense. Like this doesn't actually like visually represent a lot of the album. It visually represents that song. Like if you were to put like a single out, you could probably do that. But like the through line doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like this just makes sense because it's kind of wackadoodle. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Totally.
Like not in a weird way.
Wacky,
like
right?
it's very vibey. So I'm getting that with the colors. I was kind of curious. Obviously, there's the berries. Like, what's with the crow?
I knew this was going to come
I love crows. Do you like crows? What's with the crow?
I love crows. I think crows are... So, like, we've talked some crazy shit. In fact, you got to come back. I don't want to talk about... Are we going to talk about this the whole time? How much time have we been going?
That was the point of this
fucking
thing.
Holy shit, we've been going a long time.
Yeah.
We've already been going for an hour and 10 minutes. I did not realize that.
Yeah, I
Well,
looked.
I want you to come back because I
love.
love talking about all that crazy shit with you too. I enjoyed that.
I told you, I'm like, I'll be couch girl. I don't know. Why is his name couch boy?
Couch guy, because he started on the couch. We didn't have enough room for him. And so there was a couch in our old studio, our old design, and we didn't have any other chair for him. And so he had a mic. And he just sat on the couch and just hung out.
That's hilarious.
And he was the first one to lay down a couple times.
As much as you want, because I don't talk enough. I'll never shut the fuck up. But I'm gonna bring a little heart. I have this little neon heart, and I'm gonna put it. It's gonna be like the Mike and Tony Show featuring Jordan. That's every month or two we can have that, and we can just pop it up, and they'll be like,
I have a blast talking to you. You can come back as much as you want. I think that would be fun.
No, I'm dead serious about that. I think it would be hilarious. Mike's like, I'm about to be the third wheel in this fucking in this crew. I'm gonna bring a little heart, and then you'll.
Well, the couch guy is fucking ghosted on it. I mean, he's not ghosted. I see him every once in a while.
Yeah.
But he just
he was our third for a while.
He was on every episode.
Yeah.
I don't think you can just say he was our third.
He was our third.
That's like sex terms.
Yeah.
What did you think it was?
Yeah, what did you think it was?
We were just friends.
We were doing it on the couch. That's why he's called Couch Guy.
That's why I joke around. Tony's my hetero life mate.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think that's totally normal, obviously. Everyone has their little hetero
Life
friends or whatever. I don't think that's what girls call it because we're not weird and we don't need to make it
That would be weird
strange.
if a girl called
You're
it
like,
that.
this is my
My hetero
friends,
life
my
mate.
soulmates, my friends that you meet.
That's what I say.
Yeah, a lot of people
Tony's
can be
my
your soulmates.
hetero life mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the crow.
And the berries.
Okay, so
Do you have ADHD? We feel like we keep rolling this back around. I'm like, roll this train back
yeah,
around.
I think it's the two of us here. Mike's like, what's happening?
I'm
guys?
like, oh my
He's
God, I'm the most organized person.
He's ADHD. He's playing solitaire over here.
Playing solitaire. I'm researching things.
How mad I would be.
He's got two
If I
fidget
found out
spinners. He
every
goes,
episode you were just over there fucking Sudoku in and out or something.
I feel like I need a laptop just to be like. I'll bring it for my next feature every month.
This is definitely one of our most ADHD podcasts for sure. We're all over the fucking place. Okay,
Crow.
so crows. I just love crows in general.
Okay.
I think that there's a number of animals that we don't realize. Like this is where I'm pretty kooky. Like I really think that there's just whole other levels of our universe in that we just don't experience all the time. For example, we get little glimmers of it. Like I've brought it up on the podcast before. We've talked about crows. Crows are fascinating to me because what color would you say a crow is?
I would say like a raven color, like a black, but
like a black or a dark navy blue or something.
Yeah.
Right. No,
Like
they
they're being
are
literal?
their actual color.
Aren't they rainbows?
They are rainbow colors.
Yeah, I was like, I only know this because when you zoom in, right? Or
you can see like a little iridescence.
Yeah.
No, most of their color that they are, all the different colors they are outside our visible spectrum. So to most other animals who have a wider spectrum than we do of color,
they're like a rainbow or
they
something.
look like these fucking explosion of lights
That's
to
crazy.
everything else. Right. So and they're so wise and I've always just thought about
They hold
life.
grudges, which I think is fucking hilarious.
They'll remember your face. They'll tell the homies. They'll fucking mob you if you
My
wrong
favorite
them.
bird actually is this bird that it's in Colorado. It's related to the raven.
The magpie?
Oh, the magpies.
Yeah, they're like black and white.
Yeah, magpie.
Yeah,
And they have
and
long
green.
and
They have,
blue.
green
Yeah, like
too,
a
red,
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah. They're.
I go find this one that I like, one or two that I'm
corvids.
I go
They're
and
called-
sit and read by them.
Corvids.
I love them.
Corvids, yeah. So I just love them, and the idea of the Huckleberry. So the name Huckleberry for that song came from Tombstone, the movie.
I've never seen Tombstone.
It's one of the best movies ever.
Okay.
Yeah, you should.
I mean, actually,
definitely watch
I've know of it, but
it. I'll be your
Maybe I'll-
Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah, that's where it
I
comes
was just fooling.
Yeah,
Okay,
and my
well, now
parents
I'm
always
like,
loved that movie too, and so
Okay.
that was always a quote like in our house, like "I'll be your Huckleberry," and so it was in my head more than maybe an
Okay.
average person who's not from the South and really cooks with huckleberries or something. I don't know what the fuck. Does anybody even make stuff with huckleberries anymore?
I think they make jams.
yeah, they make.
Oh, sure.
I want to say
Jams
it's like
and jellies, yeah.
IHOP has a syrup or something.
Yeah.
It's
Huckleberry syrup.
boysenberries. Just kidding. I'm like,
Well,
there's a lot of berries. My brother loves that boysenberry IHOP
Boysenberry
syrup. Okay,
Surprise.
I know
Blueberry
that.
surprise.
Strawberry surprise.
No, but I mean, yeah, you don't really see huckleberries around here.
Yeah, and I almost wanted to do the crow like a rainbow looking thing.
Okay.
But I felt like
it wouldn't do it. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. It felt like it wouldn't. It would be just a wannabe because we can't actually see it. You can only imagine what it might look like. But if you tried to actually make it something we could see, it was going to underrepresent it.
And so you felt like, how did that play into wanting to be on the actual cover? Just because you like crows? You said, I'm going to put crow on this motherfucking art. I
feel like, and I don't know if this is true, but when I was writing it, it felt like there was a mystical aspect to the album. And to me, this is like the picture of on the album is kind of like, it's just so mystical. And the idea is the huckleberries, like he's eating from the huckleberries, but they're like going into the sky at the same time. And it's like realizing how everything is just connected. They almost look like eyes, and like everything is eyes.
No, I really like I like it a lot. I love the art.
Thank you.
But that's I'm like, these are things that I think when you're putting an album together, you're like, what's the cover? What's the What
I did learn running this through was stop putting shit on social media until you're dead set.
Oh yeah,
because I have multiple posts about different album names and covers, and was like, ugh.
I know. I had that with one of my first, like, before I put like my first EP out. I'm like, I'm gonna call it this. I'm gonna call it this, and I was like,
yeah.
This last one, I'm like, no, I'm gonna call it this. I know what it is.
That's the other thing,
and I'm gonna put it together. But like, I need it to be together and done before I like put it out.
See, I always thought like when big artists put out albums, the reason they keep it on lockdown, it's all contract based, right? And they can't have shit getting out. They don't want anybody to know anything about it. I underestimated the power of like the build up and the anticipation, and realizing like for me, it was one of the hardest things I ever did, because I'm the guy who writes a song, throws it out there, tells everybody after it's been out for a week, hey, there's a song, go check it out, right? Whereas this was like no. Only I shared it with a couple of producer friends. I shared a couple songs with people I wanted to get feedback from, and Mike gets all the songs. You're the first person that gets every song.
He's like much. The tad that through the universe.
Well, because I always love his feedback, because A, he's not like a musician.
Yeah.
And B,
no, that goes way more further than you think it does. Because there's there's me who I'm sitting here and I'm like breaking it all down, and then you're somebody that's like, I need you to listen to this, and I just need you to listen to it as not a person that's sitting here dissecting.
Well, and also he never sugarcoats shit, and he does not. If it's good, he'll say nothing. Right? Okay, like if he's like, this is fucking great, he'll be like, it's a good song. Right? Or I like it. But there are so many times I'd be like, this is fucking fire. Pierce, fucking give that shit a listen. And I'm like waiting. All of a sudden, oh, he's typing. Oh shit, what's it good?
He's like, dope.
I don't like the way you did the outro. Or the bass. That bass sounds weird. You should try a different bass.
No.
Or you should, but I love that shit. Because everyone else is like, that's phenomenal. And you're like, I know, but what's wrong with it? I know. Like, see, I know it's phenomenal, but
that's interesting that you went into that, and then you like the feedback. I realized I played like a decent amount of the songs in my album for my mom before, like maybe like last summer, like the really rough, like, they build up and over time. Like sometimes I go back and look at them and I'm like, what the fuck did I do this? Like random shit that's going on with the violins. I don't know. But like that wasn't always there. But I realized like after playing it, she's like him. She's like silent most of the time, unless she really, really likes something.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I also just realized, and I played it for like one of my friends, and they were like, I don't know, I kind of like your other stuff better. And I was like, I need to stop playing this for people, because I was like, my feedback was I felt like I was like, I can't keep the sanctity of like what I like when I'm hearing feedback from other people. Like I can't do the things the weird shit that I would do in a room. Like when they're like, that bass is weird. I'm like, but that's the bass I put in there, and that's what I like.
This is the other thing though, right? Is that anytime I found myself feeling defensive about it, I would have to take some time to digest it. And then I would decide. And be
like, is it an ego thing, or is it
Yeah, like and there's plenty of times where I'd be like, nah, I just don't agree with Pierce. That's cool, you give me that feedback, but I just know he's always going to give me his honest opinion about whatever it is. But then there were times too where I'm like, solid point. That song just ends out of nowhere. It's over. It is kind of weird. And I was like in the back of my mind ignoring it, because I like all these other parts of the song, and then ignoring this one problem. And I think that's what I liked about actually doing an album, was that you do a song, and before, so many times I would put it out and then go, I should have done this, or I should have done that. I don't feel that way about any of these songs now, because I'm like, I spent so much time recording, listening, and then when I thought I was totally done, there was a period like 3 weeks after school had already started up again for the
You're
year.
like listening to
and I
them
went
over
back
and over
in
and over,
Here and Now I relayed all the vocals in Here and Now. They were bugging me. There was a couple of pitchy spots, but it was also just like my vibe felt dead. Like, it's hard to explain.
No, I've done that already. I did that this week with like songs. Like literally, there's things where you're like, this isn't capturing the like emotion I needed in it. It sounds great, but it's not right. And like, or I could do better. But like, yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I like people's feedback, but I'm also like, I feel like over the years, I was like, I don't know if I need it. Not like in a way, like, because I don't know if I'm trying to make you like it. Do you feel like any way about that? Like where I'm like, I don't really actually give a fuck if you like it or not. Like that sounds terrible, but I think I had to like really come to a place where I was like, I like this. I listen to these songs over and over again. I think they're kind of weird in like a way, like I don't think I hear anything else that sounds like it. And
that's 100% true with your
like,
music.
That's like, I feel like that way with this album with yours too, but I'm like, and I just had to be like, maybe that's a good thing because I feel like you could go on Spotify and listen to 8 ska songs or something and they all sound the same.
Yeah.
Well, it's like not really what I'm trying to go for. Like, right. I feel, or like, then I had to like really have a moment with myself and be like, well, why am I listening to other people's songs or taking people and they're like, I think it should be this. I think it should be that.
You know, Bob Marley, when he's my favorite artist of all time. And
that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they recorded, him and the whole band, they listened to nothing for the months that they would live together and record and write, and they would not listen to any outside music.
Had to do that as well. Did you do that at all?
What's that?
Not listen to stuff when you were making
this album? Didn't, but it wasn't an intentional choice though. Because there was phases I went through, because you can tell when I'm listening to something. Like I have another song that's out called Mountain High.
Okay.
And I was definitely listening to
John Denver?
No, the country singer. He's a country singer, but he's kind of psychedelic, newer stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think you have to tell me that. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. I feel so bad that
but you can like
he has like Turtles All the Way Down was like one of his bigger songs or albums. I can't remember now. No, it's okay. I'll figure it out later. But I was listening to him and I was listening to other country. And then I had that song come out and it's like, it kind of sounds like that style. It's very different than what they did, but you can feel the influence. Whereas this, I wasn't really listening Sturgill Simpson.
Okay. I'm going to look that up after this.
Yeah, he's awesome.
No, I think that's really interesting because it's almost like you have to like take yourself away. And in some sense, I feel like I did that, but also like you can't like completely remove yourself. But I like don't know how to produce things. I just do it. And so there is things when I'm like, I don't know. How did you figure out? I'm asking so many random questions, but like, production, did you just like learn to do that yourself? Because like in my case, I feel like I just was like, I can hear it and I'm just going to figure out how to do it. And that's going to be what it is. So I did have to listen to some songs and be like, what is like things? I listened to songs a little differently because I was like, I need to listen. I'm not listening for lyrics. I'm listening to like production elements that I didn't think I would have noticed before like 5 years ago. I'm like, I need to listen to this and be like, how do people put beats together? How do people do things like like
I can help you in anything you want to learn. I can help you. But I think it was over time. It was like over time. Like if you listen to some of my old stuff, like there's a song I have up called Beautiful Rain. Okay. And if you listen to that, like it's hard for me to listen to it because of the production. I hear it and I'm like, God, this is so dated and it's so like, it sounds tinny and one-dimensional to me versus now it sounds better, but it's not like there was a one trick or a one secret I learned. It was just over and over and over. And the more critical I was of what I was recording, the better it becomes. Where you're like, and what I had to start doing with myself was because I had always the feeling like, oh, this just is what it is. I don't give a fuck. I recorded it. It's the song that matters, and I don't really care. And I think that over time, those tiny little things, I would have like these little noticings, like, oh, that one little thing bothers me a little. I started amplifying those to myself and being like, wait, hold on, let's dive in on that. Yeah. And those little things, when you add them up, make such a difference in the production in the end. And my production is not great. Like it's not there only because I worked with like, when I was doing licensing, I met so many high level producers that it's crazy. Like the sound that they get, you're just like, what the fuck?
I think producing is strange.
It is.
I actually was talking to Megan. We had a really long conversation about this, and I told her that I thought it was getting too techie and it was bothering me. And she was like, I don't know how you feel about that, because I was like, when I say I like just figured out what I was doing, I was like, I don't know what DAWs are. I don't know, like I know what they're called, but I was like, I just would go through and be like, I'm trying to find this sound that's in my head and like make it weird and distorted, and I just figured it out. Like, I think that's some weird way, like I'd be playing a fucking bucket or something. I don't know, like if that's what, right? Like, and I feel like I watch videos sometimes, and I like they're like, you can take this. Is it sounding too like? You can take this one frequency and bring it down. And we were talking, and I was like, me and Megan, I was like, do you ever think about like people, like you were just talking about Bob Marley, like people playing one live, like people would just go and actually play, and like they wouldn't even have beyond like a I was going to say a ticker, a metric, right?
Oh,
they wouldn't even play to like like you can, they speed up and slow down and stuff because they're just playing live.
Yep.
And there's like no one there to like change your vocals so that it's not, the frequency isn't what it is.
Right,
and
right.
I just was asking her opinion on that because I was like, I feel like kind of like, I don't really understand that. I understand as we move into like a future era, like that's,
I have all that stuff.
What it is, but it feels like it's like really getting like finicky where I'm like, if you don't sound good singing, find someone else to sing the fucking song.
Or the other thing is I think it's almost like plastic surgery to me.
No, yes, exactly.
I learned how to use it. And then when I would listen to myself on stuff I auto-tuned, it rubbed me the wrong way and I couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah,
I was like, something's just off.
It's weird.
And then I would hear, like, if you hear to me specifically, Out of My Way, that one that you were talking about, they're in the chorus, it's so fucking pitchy but I like it, like something about it, because I relayed it a couple times and it came out pitchy in the same way both times, and
you're
it's
like I sing it this way.
Some of those notes that are off,
no, that's
they sound feel that good.
We also had that conversation because I was talking. I watched a YouTube video and it was talking about people correcting their vocals too much.
Yeah, it's like plastic surgery.
Like, but you can literally go in. I don't know if Mike, if you know this, like literally find the note. It's like you can see it, and they can like bring it down to be right. And like it's like minimal to like you wouldn't notice it, but they were playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, like how it would be fixed, and then the original.
Interesting.
And how they're showing where her actual like vocals lie, and they're almost always a little bit off, like because no one can sing an actual like
not an instrument
perfect note, and they were saying like that's being lost, and so I thought that
I agree
was on when I'm like going in to do stuff, I'm like, this kind of seems like, why can't we just like yes, if it's pitchy or something, like why can't it just be pitchy, and that's, or find someone, like if you don't think your voice sounds that like then just throw it in there. I think there's only one song on the album that I did that I put in the background vocals that I have some weird like distortion and used auto-tune. Everything else is just me singing pitchy
the main
and
one
weird.
I have auto-tune is the one that's not up anymore. It's that old Dancing in the Sunshine that I did in the studio. They auto-tuned the shit out of my backup vocals.
And you were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That was there's only one that I was like, this feels like it makes sense in the song.
Yeah.
And then all the other ones I'd try it and then I'd take it off because I was like, I hate that. But
well, what I want to say
is,
I think because I worked with doing the licensing stuff, I saw like the high commercial end of things, and it all blows, bro. It blows. I'm sorry. Like it's fabricated, intentional creation to make money, right? Okay. That's what licensing is. And I don't take anything away from people who do it. It's just a different thing than what I do. It's different than what I like to do and what's fun about it. And I think, what was that? What's that song? Richmond, North of Richmond. Isn't that the song? What was that guy's name with the big red beard? He fucking recorded the song on his phone, and it got
yes. Okay, I don't know his name, but I know that.
That is this time we live in now, where those commercial things, great. If you're trying to do a commercial or you're trying to get money in a major blockbuster movie and you're trying to write some score for it or a song that's going to go in there, go do that all you want. And they have common themes, right, that they always work with, like coming home or there's like things that you see over and over again. Fuck all that shit. And I think that goes for production too. It's awesome to hear high level production where these guys, have millions of dollars that they're putting into these songs, and they've got all top level producers, the best equipment in the world, but none of that is going to make a good song. And they're going to make commercial songs that sell a lot of albums that the average Joe walking around is listening to, but it's not the same as just creating your own art. And I think production now we're in a stage where that's just part of the music now. It used to be like, oh, you got a good song, now you need good production. And I feel like that dude blew that fucking rule out of the water. He literally recorded on an iPhone and got millions upon millions upon millions of streams, and everybody's singing the song. We all fucking love it. And no one gives a shit that it was literally recorded on an iPhone. Like,
yeah,
no one
like
cares.
is what it is. Yeah.
And so I don't think you need to trip in these times. And so I would like to close with that.
Fuck your technology.
Fuck your technology. We out here just recording in the wild.
Yeah.
Damn.
So happy surprise
This
show,
might
Dollar.
Thanks. This is probably the most all over the podcast, all over the place I feel like we've been in a while.
Is it?
Well, I don't know.
I feel like the music people are gonna love it because it's very like musicy and in depth. But I feel like other people are gonna be like, "This is what the fuck are they talking about?"
Yeah, but that's how our episodes are. I think some of them, people are like, "Fucking, this is great." And there's different types of listeners, right?
Yeah.
Some people will love this episode. Some people will just click to the next episode. That's cool.
Yeah.
You could do that.
So make sure you look for it, everybody. It's Huckleberry Surprise.
Yeah, you can get on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you listen.
Yes,
Wherever.
honestly, phenomenal.
Thank you. That means so much coming from you.
From top to bottom. Good.
I appreciate it.
We
And thanks
fucks with
for
it.
Then this is the best thing. Even though I had a fucking mile high of anxiety this week, trying to figure out who the guest was going to be because I couldn't get it out of my head. Woke up at 5 a.m. thinking about who's going to be the guest.
Jesus.
But it turned out to be awesome.
Yeah, no.
It's just Jordan.
Just me. Needed to pick your
The
brain
Mike
a little bit.
and
Ask
Tony,
some questions.
Mike and Tony featuring Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan,
We'll get a
the
little
new-
sign. Don't worry.
We'll get a little sign from the Lord.
Everyone that's concerned, we will be getting a sign.
It is a wrap. Cheers.
Cheers.